Welcome back, Focus Learners, to another explainer. Jump right in with me here, because today we're looking at a truly fascinating snapshot of the world. The date is May 2026, and we've officially crossed a major threshold. AI? It's fundamentally moved out of those theoretical research labs and into what I like to call the great implementation. It's this wild new phase characterized by massive real-world friction, but also by just incredible world-shifting opportunity. We're way past just talking about what AI might do someday. We are actively dealing with what it's doing right now, to our power grids, our legal systems, and our daily routines.
Okay, let's dive into our roadmap for today. We're going to cover three main things. First, the global race and resource strain. Second, the moral and legal friction. And third, the enterprise and consumer reality. So let's kick things off with part one, global race and resource strain.
You know, it's really easy to think of artificial intelligence as this invisible, weightless concept just sort of floating somewhere in the cloud. But in 2026, it is a deeply physical, fiercely geopolitical, and incredibly resource-heavy reality. Case in point, 29.6 gigawatts. According to the newly published 2026 Stanford AI Index report, this is the staggering power capacity now demanded by frontier AI models. To put that into perspective for a second, that is an amount of electricity that literally rivals the energy consumption of entire nations. It completely grounds us in the massive environmental footprint of this industry. We aren't just writing code anymore, we're essentially building an entirely new, incredibly power-hungry infrastructure for the planet.
And the distribution of all that immense power and effort? Well, it's completely shifted. For years, the story of AI was dominated by the performance lead of US-based labs. You know the ones. However, that same Stanford report reveals a massive shift, Chinese open-weight models, and by that, I mean models where the core architecture and code are made freely available for anyone to download and modify, have effectively reached parity. They've completely eliminated that historical gap. We're no longer looking at a single dominant global player here. We are watching a neck-and-neck global sprint.
Now that closing capability gap directly ties into some really intense geopolitical maneuvering. Take a look at this breaking development. Chinese authorities are now actively enforcing unexpected, government-mandated overseas travel bans. And these restrictions are specifically targeting their most prominent computer scientists and engineers. Major domestic AI hubs over there, including Alibaba and DeepSeek, are already feeling the heavy impact of these policies. It just goes to show exactly how fiercely nations are guarding their intellectual capital in this race right now. The human talent behind these models, it's literally being treated as critical national security infrastructure.
All right, moving right along to part two, moral and legal friction.
We've seen the superpower battles and the resource strain, but now we really need to look at how this immense technological shift is testing our human frameworks. Which brings us to a truly landmark historical moment. Pope Leo XIV recently presented a sweeping 43,000-word encyclical titled Magnificat Humanitas. And listen, this isn't just some philosophical musing. It's an urgent, direct call for comprehensive global AI regulation. The encyclical strongly denounces the proliferation of hypersexualized AI-generated images targeting children, and it raises a massive red flag about modern forms of labor exploitation hidden deep within the broader tech supply chain. It's a profound moral stake in the ground.
But here is a fascinating twist. The Vatican is actually forming these highly technical stances by directly consulting the tech industry. It's this incredible crossover between moral leadership and Silicon Valley. Industry analysts immediately noted that the encyclical specifically describes the inherent unpredictability of frontier neural networks. That exact phrasing perfectly mirrors the safety concepts championed by the AI lab Anthropic. In fact, Anthropic co-founder and neural safety researcher Christopher Olah was personally invited to attend the Vatican's official unveiling ceremony. Global moral leaders are going straight to the source to understand these risks, which is just wild to think about. Meanwhile, back in the United States, the friction is incredibly practical and, well, administrative. It's a bizarre double-edged sword playing out right now in the U.S. court system. On one hand, consumer generative AI tools are actively lowering barriers to entry. They're empowering pro se, or self-represented litigants, to draft complex legal filings. This is brilliantly democratizing legal access for the average person. But, on the exact same token, doing so is completely burying the courts in a tsunami of automated paperwork. This massive spike in AI-generated lawsuits is heavily depleting administrative resources, and it's leaving the justice system really struggling to process the sheer, unprecedented volume of it all.
Let's bring it all home with Part 3, Enterprise and Consumer Reality.
Let's bring this right down to the businesses we work for and the everyday devices we use.
For the corporate world, the research from Gartner just issued a remarkably stark warning to executives navigating this space. Their advisory makes it abundantly clear. If companies try to apply rigid, uniform, one-size-fits-all governance rules across all their autonomous AI agents, they are going to trigger widespread enterprise failure. I mean, think about it. An AI managing complex supply chain logistics needs totally different guardrails than an AI that's just drafting external marketing emails, right? Blanket oversight frameworks will inherently stifle deployment and completely ruin these projects before they can even deliver value.
Okay, so what about the everyday consumer? Well, the cost of having advanced AI deeply embedded in your personal life is becoming very, very well defined. $99.99 a year. Google has officially announced a full rebranding of Fitbit Premium into Google Health Premium. So this specific subscription tier now equips you with an incredibly advanced Gemini-powered personalized fitness coach. The AI is no longer just some chatbot sitting on your laptop. It's actively analyzing your health and guiding your physical fitness around the clock.
And to complement that powerful new software, Google also dropped some new physical hardware, the Fitbit Air. Priced at a very accessible $100, this device features a completely screenless and super lightweight design. Its sole optimized purpose is to just fade entirely into the background of your life and seamlessly feed your raw physiological data directly into Google's new Gemini AI ecosystem. It creates this continuous, automated loop of human biological data fueling personalized AI insights.
So, as we take a step back and really look at the landscape of May 2026, we see a world completely in the throes of a massive implementation phase. We've got gigawatts of power driving a fierce, restricted geopolitical race. We have the Vatican sounding moral alarms while our legal systems buckle under the weight of automated filings. And we've got screenless wearables piping our heart rates directly into personalized AI models. All of which brings us to the ultimate question we all have to ask ourselves right now. How do we successfully balance this rapid, incredible AI innovation with the necessary oversight across our physical, moral, and digital lives? It is quite literally the defining challenge of our time. Thank you so much for exploring this with me today. Keep focusing, keep learning, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.